I better hit the record button because people are going to be mad at me. Okay, so we're recording now. I almost forgot, but we are recording. And like I just said, we are just going to, educate and train on this as much as we need to get really comfortable with what's going on, and how everything is going to flow going forward, so that when we get emails from compliance and when we hear through corporate different changes that are coming, we're going to be so on top of it, ahead of it, and already understanding all of this that it's going to be no big deal. It's going to be something we're already naturally doing. So we're going to start with administrative stuff as always. I started a new Facebook group for Vegas. Yay! So I know a bunch of us are going to Vegas. It's going to be so awesome. So if you are going to Vegas, I have a group that's called Vegas Convention - Plexus with a Purpose. So go out and find that, or find the post just in my Plexus with a Purpose group and ask to be added to it. I think the link is right there in the group, so you can go ahead and be added. For example, tonight I put some great information that you're going to want to know about something that's going to be sold in the store while we're there, which is awesome. So the only way you're going to find out what that is to go out and join that group, and then you're going to be able to see the post. So Vegas Convention - Plexus with a Purpose is the name of the group. It is a closed group right now, which means people can't see the information inside it, but they can see who's in it. As soon as all of you are in it, then I will make it a secret group. Nobody will even be able to find it. So it'll just be a place that we can add, where our rooms are, and when we're finally checked in, hey, come meet me at the restaurant, or who wants to go to dinner, or, all that kind of stuff, so we can stay updated. And then when I find great information like I did today, I'm just going to throw it out there so all of our Vegas guys and gals will see it. So there's that. Don't forget, we have multiple team contests going on right now. So we have weekly contests every single week of the month. So we are in our second weekly contest right now for recruiting new ambassadors with welcome kits. And everyone who recruits this week is going to go into a drawing for a $50 gift card to Amazon. I believe Tesha was our winner last week, if I remember correctly. We'll have a new winner this week and the following weeks. And then we also have a Blitz contest going on right now, because April 15th is the last day for the 15% off. So that's huge, and we want to hit that really hard to get as many people as we can to join and to become customers while they're going to get that 15% off discount. I've never seen a discount this big, so I would assume it's going to be a really long time before we see it again. So definitely make sure people understand that this is not something that's going to happen every day. We literally might go a year or two without seeing something this big again. So get on that. And then I have decided that we are going to do another 7-day challenge. So I will post about that specifically tomorrow in my team page. But May 2nd, we will do a 7-day challenge. They run Monday to Sunday. And what we do is we invite people to spend about $25 to get 7 days worth of Slim, or they can do a Slim Accelerator or Slim Boost. They order the trial pack, it gets shipped to their house, and then on that Monday, May 2nd, they'll all start taking the Slim on the same day. People comment, they send selfies of them in their Slim, they, cheer each other on. They say when they've, oh my gosh, I actually, didn't feel like crap all afternoon, or I slept through the night, I can't believe it. And there's a lot of build up with all the different people talking and all the ambassadors talking in the group, and oh yeah, I felt that too, or oh, my second day I didn't have this, or whatever. There's a lot of just camaraderie that really builds everybody up. Lots of people turn into customers from it. Lots of people turn into ambassadors from it. So it's great. So we are going to start that on May 2nd. So that's something you can start promoting as soon as you want. I've got a ton of graphics that I'm just going to post out in the team page tomorrow that will help you with the promoting of that. So it'll be a Facebook group. It'll be a closed group that you will be added to when you have customers, and then you can add your customers to. There's a welcome thread, so they all know they're welcomed into the group, and we're so excited. And then I post a video of how to take your Slim, and product information, business information, 2 posts a day for 7 days. That's it. So it's awesome. We always have a great feedback, great turnout from that. Let me see what else I wanted to tell you guys in advance. That might be it. So Kim Gray has offered to give our testimony tonight. There she is. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can, and I can see you, so we are good to go. Thank you for sharing your testimony. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. So a little about myself. I'm a mom. I'm of two boys who are all grown up, a wife, and I'm a middle school special ed teacher. So my entire adult life, I have literally taken care of everybody but myself. And in the process, my health has spiraled out of control, and especially in probably the last 3 years. So I've been struggling with my weight, and that's gone out of control, and I've been totally, totally exhausted. I'd come home from work, and as a special ed teacher, all I'd do is paperwork, and then I'd sleep. And I was sleeping my weekends away because I had no energy to do anything. So I ended up joining Plexus probably 3 months ago after my sister convinced me. I was a huge skeptic, but then I thought that there must be something to it because Tanya has had such amazing results. So I jumped aboard. Here's the crazy thing. Within probably 4 days, I had energy, and I couldn't believe it. I was experiencing energy like I've never experienced it before. And then within a week after that, I was no longer craving sugar and chocolate. My go-to was dark chocolate and coffee. So I went from drinking probably 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day to now 1 cup of coffee a day. I haven't touched dark chocolate in probably 2.5 months. And all of us teachers have our candy drawers, and I'm not even interested anymore. I'm down almost 25 pounds and lots of inches, and I'm feeling great. And what's really incredible is I've stabilized my blood sugar, which is great, which is less trips to the pharmacy. So that's nice. My body now craves water, and I went from drinking 0 ounces a day to literally now 100 ounces a day. And it just feels amazing. I'm so thankful for my sister and for Liza, who introduced it to my sister. So it's life-changing, and it's the added boost I needed to get healthy. And that's what it's all about, getting healthy.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. Thank you for sharing. And that is fantastic. I know I can relate to the never having drank water before. And now it's the only thing I drink, and I crave it all day. So amazing testimony. I love it. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. So we are going to keep moving, and we're going to talk compliance. So y'all don't freak out. It's going to be fun. Get your happy faces on. And get some paper to take some notes. Let me share my screen real fast. Now, y'all know when I share my screen, I cannot see if anybody's chatting. Let me try to see if I can put that chat up in a corner where I might be able to see it. We'll try to see it. I'll tell you if I can see it. But typically, I cannot because my screen share kind of takes over. But let's see what we can do tonight. Oh, I can see it. Okay, so I can see the chat. So we're going to try to use it tonight. So this is compliance take 2 because we've already done 1 compliance training, and there's very little about what I said last time that has changed. So that's great news. And I did warn you last time, and I want to warn you again that I can't promise you that this is never going to change. I can't promise you that this is 100% exactly perfectly right. This is going to help us to get towards better posting, towards more correct, compliant testimonies. I can't say that everything I say is going to be 100% perfect because I can't read the minds of the compliance people, and they can't read the minds of the FDA. So things can constantly be changing, but this is going to help us in huge ways in order to keep compliance from bothering us, which we don't want. None of us want to get an email from compliance telling us to change things. And to just keep the FDA happy, because honestly, at the end of the day, We want to be compliant because we love our jobs, because we love our company, and because these products really are amazing. And I don't want anyone to ever not be able to get these products. It was like a massive double negative. But we want to make sure that 10 years and 20 years and 30 years from now, Plexus products are still available for us when we're older, for our children, for our grandchildren, for our great-grandchildren, which truly is the legacy that we're leading. And as we lead into this legacy for Plexus, we want to make sure we do it well, because otherwise we're going to ruin something that could be amazing for all these groups and generations behind us. So let's not do that. And that's why we're jumping on this and we're getting ahead of it. So what can we not say? You can never, ever, 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 ever use words that are medical terms. So think about walking into your Minute Clinic or your doctor's office or your, urgent care, the emergency room, those type of triage words, those type of disease words. I mean, this was a very short list. But as you read through this list, in the chat, if you'd like to, add some extra words or more words that we are not allowed to use. We cannot talk about fibromyalgia. Don't use the word pain. Don't use anything that your doctor would use. Your doctor would ask you, where is your pain on a level of 1 to 10, right? Or 1 to 5, whatever their cute little happy face scale is for your kids, and the 1 to 10 for us. Don't use words the doctor would use with you. Don't talk about chronic fatigue. Don't talk about fatigue because it's the name of a disease, chronic fatigue. Don't talk about eczema, allergies, asthma. No names of autoimmune diseases. Don't name a disease at all. Don't use the word disease. Tell me others that you all think of. I mean, some others I thought of after I made this list was don't talk about arthritis. Just anything that's I guess it's really the easy way to do it. Like, we're not going to do it the quick, fast, easy, oh, I say this word and you know what I mean. We're actually going to do the reverse. We're going to start sharing the feelings that come from the disease. Yeah, absolutely. Don't use the word medicine, medications. Don't name medications you're on. Don't say, I was on 15 medications and now I'm only on 2. None of that. Diabetes, migraines. Yeah, migraines, definitely. Absolutely. Those are all words we are not going to use anymore. We want to think about if it's a quick one-word answer, oh, she had fibromyalgia, now she doesn't deal with that anymore. That's not what we want to share. We want to describe symptoms that are now gone. We want to describe how we felt and how we feel now. Yeah, we're not going to use the word IBS, but you might very well say, and I put this in something, and this was my life. I always had to know where the next bathroom was. I never knew how much time I'd be spending in a bathroom that day. You have to be descriptive. You want to paint a picture with the words you use as opposed to just saying IBS and allowing that person to go, oh, I know what that's like. Because honestly, some people might not. And so the great thing about this is that when we are descriptive and we give explanations, maybe I have a girlfriend who has never even heard of IBS and never diagnosed with IBS. But when I say I always had to know where the next bathroom was and I never knew how long I'd be in there, very descriptive, and she might go, oh my gosh, I have the same thing. You don't have to use IBS to get the point across. Yeah, we're not going to talk about restless leg syndrome, plantar fasciitis, insomnia, but we can say I tossed and turned all night. My legs twitched and, just felt tingly and weird and uncomfortable all night. Plantar fasciitis, I hated the thought of getting up out of the bed in the morning. I had to wear special inserts in my shoes. No, don't use the word inflammation. Don't use joint pain. But you can say it was so hard to hold my cup of coffee in the morning. Lifting my kids up was so painful or uncomfortable, really is a better word. We wouldn't use the word pain. My whole body just constantly felt heavy and achy and just uncomfortable. So again, don't use a specific word. Yeah, it was just describe what it felt like. So what can we say? And this is kind of what I've just said. I can say I felt tired or drained, exhausted. Be descriptive. If you like to write, I mean, this should be amazing. You know, my eyes felt heavy all day. I constantly needed coffee. I had to drink so many energy drinks. And I'll make this into a PowerPoint so you don't have to feel like you have to write all of this down. But I was emotionally drained. We're not going to say we were depressed. We're not going to say that we had anxiety. Those are medical terms, but we can say I was constantly snappy with my husband. I complained about everything all the time because I just felt awful. I was never happy with my kids or my husband. I was emotionally drained. I felt on edge when I was out in public. That would be anxiety. I was nervous to be outside of my home. I never knew when I'd need a toilet fast. I didn't enjoy going out to eat anymore. I didn't enjoy being around friends. I constantly had stomach aches or stomach cramping. I always felt bloated in my belly. I was never regular. I felt like my body was 100 years old. I mean, you can just imagine, you can visualize and imagine what that would feel like. You can almost feel it yourself, like, oh, that would be awful to just constantly feel like you're 100 years old. It was hard to go work out. I didn't have any interest in going to work out. I was happy to sit in front of the couch or sit on the couch and watch TV all day. All of those things are compliant because remember, I haven't said a single word about a disease. You read through this, and this was all based on, oh, let me think of fatigue. This is what I would say. Let me think of anxiety. This is what I would say. Let me think of depression. This is what I would say. But I haven't used those words. I've given you descriptions of how people feel. So how do we describe conditions that don't have feelings, like high cholesterol and diabetes? Those are ones where we have to be, and we'll kind of get to that. So Renee, if I don't answer that in a little bit, remind me. But those are going to be ones where we really have to hone in on what does our website say. And we're going to talk about what our website says. So message again if I don't answer that. And then you can say at the bottom, you know, I said you can feel sad or sullen, worn out, always felt blue. I was never happy. It was hard to sit for long periods of time. It was hard to stand for long periods of time. You know, a lot of people say, you know, when I woke up in the morning, it was so hard to grasp that cup of coffee, you know, whatever. Then such a body part felt sore. My feet always felt sore. It hurt to get out of bed. Just, you know, it was hard to keep up with my children. It was hard to ride a bike when my kids wanted to, you know, some sort of activity that you couldn't do. You know, those are all other things we can say. So we have a lot of ways to say the same thing without saying the actual diagnosed disease, which a lot of people don't even have a diagnosed disease. They will just assume they have a certain disease and they'll start talking about it. Oh, I had this, that, and the other, where really this is going to be very much more something that people can connect with. They can understand, it will resonate better with them than worrying about the name of a disease. So, oh, it's right here. So when we're talking about specific products, sometimes we don't know what we can say specifically about that product. And I'm not going to lie, I have to go look this up constantly. Like, this is not something that naturally comes to my mind. But these are things that corporate has said about the triplex. So this is literally off your website. So you go to your website, you go to products, and you look at the triplex, and these are the things that it's going to say. Now, you can either literally put this in a Facebook post, or you can say, I love that my triplex helps energize the body, helps promote digestive health, helps promote a healthy immune system. You know, you could also, instead of saying that, you can say, man, these products rock. I haven't been sick or I haven't missed a day of work in 2 years. You know, my kids haven't missed school in, well, we're 6 weeks shy of an entire school year when no one has missed any school, which is crazy. Our 5 strains of probiotic bacteria help support and maintain intestinal flora. Now, we don't get into the whole candida. We don't get into any kind of medical discussion. When we want to say something medical, we look to exactly what the website says. We say nothing more. And don't take these out of context either. So I want to see, I don't even think the cholesterol is on here anymore, but let me look at the next one. This is our X factor. So this is exactly what the X Factor says. It's a turbocharged multivitamin and antioxidant supplement. So you can say that. I love my X Factor. It's a turbocharged vitamin. It's an antioxidant supplement. It has patented aloe blend in it. Like all the things you see on your website, you can say anytime you want to. So if you want to talk specifically about the X Factor and why you love it, here's the information you can give. It oxygenates the body and safeguards against damaged and dysfunctional cells. I don't know that I'd say that because people are going to go, what the heck does that mean? But you can say it if you want to because it's on the website. And, let me tell you something, probably some of the stuff on the website is going to change. So don't think that just because the website says something today, it's still going to say it tomorrow, because I do believe the website used to say something about keeping your, let me go back and reread it, keeping your cholesterol and other levels at healthy, what did it say? Do y'all remember exactly what it said? It said something to the effect of helps keep certain blood levels at their healthy level or at their healthy state or something like that. And it does not appear to say that anymore. So we cannot say that. Now, Mega X might. I didn't copy and paste what Mega X says. So y'all can jump on your website and see what Mega X says about cholesterol. It might be the only one that says that anymore. Talking about something like nerve support. It is a combination of vitamins, minerals, herbs, and amino acids to help support healthy nerve cell and nervous system. And then you can say, it may reduce symptoms from nerve discomfort. Notice they do not use the word pain, discomfort. And then they do say it does not apply to discomfort from a disease such as diabetes, autoimmune, or other diseases. So it's just general nerve discomfort for whatever reason you would have that. So that's their CYA, that this is not talking about diseases. Honestly, personally, I don't have any plan of getting into this very detailed information about how the products work and what types of pain and discomfort and, what it's doing to my immune system and all that kind of stuff. I plan to keep much more to the how I feel and how others feel, because that's very light. It's very happy. No one has to really deeply understand something. And the way someone feels makes sense to someone else. It's going to resonate with someone where they're going to say, oh yeah, I totally understand how she felt and now she doesn't. I want to not feel like this. Like Kim said, she would come home and she'd do her paperwork and she'd be exhausted and she'd go to bed, and now she has energy. Okay, well, I want to have energy. I know what that's like. I don't want to go to bed at, 8 o'clock. I want to have that. And that's what resonates with people, the how you felt and how you feel. Can we post articles or videos on specific things like Candida if what we post in regards to the video is compliant? Or are all the testimonies on YouTube where someone is in a video is saying something about disease, can we still use those? Okay, so a couple questions there. Can we post articles or videos on things like Candida if what we post in regards to the video is compliant? No, because when you are posting on Facebook, everyone knows you're with Plexus. So everything you post on Facebook has to be compliant. The articles that you tell people to read have to essentially not go against or contradict. Like you could just post an article and say nothing. Wow, this was really interesting, whatever. And then that article stands for itself. It's a standalone. It is its own piece of information and research. But you can't take an article on Candida and then talk about Plexus in a compliant way, but then share this totally non-compliant article. Does that make sense? You can't mix compliant and non-compliant information and be like, oh, well, I said something compliant, so I can just post this non-compliant article. People still know what you're talking about, that you're talking about Plexus, that you are with Plexus, that you represent Plexus. And so everything we do has to be compliant. So if you find an article that is compliant, that goes hand in hand with what we talk about with promoting digestive health or promoting a healthy immune system, or how aloe, which we claim is in our products, helps the body, then that's different than starting to talk about diseases. Don't post articles about diabetes and blood sugar stabilization, or about candida yeast, or, anything that's kind of non-compliant. It's outside of our scope of knowledge as far as what the FDA is allowing us to, quote unquote, know. Lab work management, we did at one point, and I'd have to go back and look. I didn't see it today, but I just copied and pasted this right off my website. It used to say that it helped to maintain your certain blood levels at optimum level. But if it does not say that on your website, you cannot say it. So literally about cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, all that stuff, the wording it says on the website is the only wording you can use. So if they've taken that away, then we cannot use that. Now, that does not mean that will never come back, because that's kind of the next thing I want to talk to y'all about. So a lot of this is stuff I've already talked about. This was kind of the same as the first training I did, where we're allowed to say what's on the website, and we need to be very descriptive in our information versus sharing specific disease names. So that's that. And then we have something new. So our products, it's awesome that they are going through some third-party validation, which is huge. That is really a big deal, and they are spending so much money to get this done. So this is really great. Our products are going to be proven to help with weight loss. When that happens, it's going to be 100% compliant for us to share before and after testimonies, to share inches lost, to share pounds lost, to share weight, down X number of pant sizes, all that kind of stuff. But hear me, everyone, please listen. Right now, we cannot share before and after photos for weight loss anymore. No inches lost, no weight loss, no pant sizes down, nothing about weight loss at this moment. So just hold tight on that. It's not a big deal. It's only a temporary thing until we have the third-party validation. When this third-party study is done and they prove scientifically, when they prove scientifically that our products help with weight loss, then we're going to be able to post that all back up. So Liza's 50 pounds, we cannot talk about anymore. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but here's the thing, and it really does make sense. There's going to be a disclaimer that comes with it, and we're going to have the scientific proof, because, and I said this to Liza today, Liza didn't just sit on the couch eating bonbons and lose 50 pounds just because she took Slim. It's not that simple, and we don't want to make it look like something it's not, and that's not exactly the way I wanted to word it, but you know what I'm saying. We don't want to pretend that, hey, all you have to do is drink this pink drink once a day and, 50 pounds is just going to come off like that. No, Liza changed what she ate. She changed her exercise routine. She felt better because of our products. She didn't crave those junk food, but it was also a choice. She could have continued to eat the bonbons sitting on the couch. Not that you ever were, I'm not saying that. But she could have continued down that road, whatever that road was, or she could have just sat on her butt and ate bonbons all day. But it's a misrepresentation when we just go, look, here I was and here I am, and Plexus did it. And so this is a good thing. So there's going to be very specific wording we put with weight loss, which will say something along the lines of, this is not guaranteed, and, it takes effort, and blah, 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 which kind of goes along with Celeste's new hashtag that I put out on our team page today that's talking about, Plexus is a tool that we use in conjunction with healthy living, in conjunction with getting out and exercising. I feel better now. Now I go to the gym, whatever. So anyway, long story short, do not post weight loss testimonies anymore until we are told we can again, please. The day will come. This is not an end all. This is not the end of the world with this. It's just the day will come. The day is not today. And I do want to say that for anyone who might be thinking that they're going to disregard what I say, I highly advise that you don't. Because again, this is the life of Plexus for your children and your grandchildren, and this is your residual income. Our income not only stays for us for the duration of our time with this company, but it's also inherited by our children. And so this is true for all of you, that you are building a legacy for your own family. And so you don't want to ruin that for everyone, and you certainly don't want to ruin it for yourself. So you have to follow the rules. I know you're all going to follow the rules, but if there's just that one person out there who's thinking, I don't know, maybe I'll just keep posting, weight loss until someone tells me different. Don't, because by the time they tell you different, you're in trouble. So just don't. Kim Gray said, should we take down the ones we already posted? Well, Kim, yeah, that is a great idea. That's definitely something that I would suggest everyone consider doing. I had every intention of Liza and I had talked about coming to you guys separately, but since the question's been asked, I might as well just answer that. Yes, I'm going to go back and take down any non-compliant post I have. For me, I'm going to do that because I don't want any of you to come looking at my page and find non-compliant posts and think they're compliant because I've posted them. You know what I mean? So I want my page to be squeaky clean. So you can go look at every post I've ever posted and you can go, okay, I know that I can share that today because that's compliant and Melissa's got a clean page and she's done her best. It's definitely something that, we don't want to have non-compliant posts out there. We just want to get them all done. Now, do I think you should stay up till 2 a.m. tonight getting that done? No, I don't. Over time, delete them, remove them because it will help you and it will help others as well. Basically, no more photos at this time. I don't think that's really true as much as no more before and after photos with weight loss. So there were lots of photos of the products. There were lots of photos that are selfies. I'd have to really think and look through the different. There's lots of photos that are inspirational quotes. There are lots of photos that are cute little, images that have to do with plexus. All of that is still totally fine. It's just literally the before and the after photo that you cannot do, including your own before and after photo. If you have a before and after photo up, I would take it down. If that's your personal profile photo, I would change it to something else. So no more before and after photos. So let's keep going, and I think I'll answer some of the rest of your questions. So let's look at this testimony real fast. You can see that there's a lot of information in here. It's a great testimony, but she talks about a lot of things that we cannot talk about. So there's nothing wrong with the testimony as much as we just need to clean it up, which I've said before. I said this in my last training. We need to clean up testimonies so that they are usable. So I kind of highlighted where there are things that I would just start deleting. Instead of depression and pain, you all know what you can say instead of depression and pain. You all know what you can say instead of, I just take the weight loss part out. There's a lot of things that you can either take out or you can change. So to me, you can read through the whole thing, but it's like I got my kids back. My kids got their mommy back. My students got their teacher back. I feel healthy again. I didn't realize my health had gotten so out of control, and I had all these pains, and I tried these products, and all of a sudden I had all this energy, and I feel amazing, and I don't crave sugar anymore, and I crave healthy foods and water. That's essentially the gist of this. And so that's what I made it into. My kids got their mommy back. My students got their teacher back. I got my health back. I've always been health conscious. No matter what I did, I couldn't get my health back, and it caused me to feel so down about myself. I dragged through the day and collapsed on the couch. I've always dealt with discomfort, constantly feeling it and not being able to make it go away. Within 2 days of getting on the Slim and Accelerator, I felt awesome. Spelled that wrong, but you know what I mean. On the third day, I walked in the door not exhausted and signed up as an ambassador because I thought if something can make me feel this much better after 3 days, I'm in. That day, at the end of my teaching day, after a very stressful youth correction facility, it hit me that I still had energy, and I taught the day with more energy and enthusiasm than I had in 13 years. By the end of that week, I was feeling more comfortable in my clothes, and my bathroom issues were not bothering me. Blah, 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 blah. You can see she talks about the sugary foods and turning up her nose to them, and she no longer drags and collapses. I haven't really lost a whole lot in this, but I've just taken away the medical terminology and some of the weight loss information. So you don't have to necessarily feel like, oh, there's no more testimonies I can post. Well, yeah, they are. You just can't copy and paste. So there's lots and lots and lots of testimonies out there that we can still post. We just have to clean them up a little bit. And over time, others are going to clean them up as well. So I'm losing, I can't touch my scroll thing. So if I've missed something, sorry. If the picture alone is an obvious weight loss, but weight isn't mentioned in their testimony, I mean, I guess you'd have to know the person for the picture to be an obvious weight loss, because you're only going to see their after picture or their before picture. You're not going to see both. So that might be a challenge. I mean, literally, if you just have one picture and you know the person, then that would be one thing. I mean, you can deduct from it if you just see a picture of someone, if you know them, that they have weight loss. The slim packaging, I would assume, is going to change what it says, at least temporarily. So I can't guarantee that, but I would be pretty sure. And this, I'm not making this stuff up. This came from compliance. It went straight to some of the highest ranking jewels in the company and has come down through them. So where will I find testimonies? What do I do? Okay, so we have created a new page. I created it, and Liza is helping me to post testimonies in it, and you guys are more than welcome to help me post testimonies, and I want you all to join it. So it's called PWAP, for the Plexus with a Purpose Compliant Testimonies. And all we're going to do is put our own compliant testimonies out there. I'd love for everyone to join and put your own compliant testimony out there. And then Liza and I are going to clean up testimonies. You guys can clean up testimonies. There's an admin approval for every post. So I'm just going to be that final check to make sure before they get in there, they are compliant. And we will have a great place to find and add compliant testimonies. So you really don't have to worry. When you have new ambassadors, add them to this group. And then when you train them on where to find testimonies, you're going to say, hey, check Melissa's personal Facebook page, check my personal Facebook page, and get into this compliant testimonies group, and you can always have lots of testimonies. Almost all of you who aren't brand new on this call have already made a compliant testimony. I know that many of you did, and you posted it. So I would love for you to go back out on your page, find that, and post it in this compliant testimonies page. Take out your weight loss. Other than that, everything we say, how we feel, what we're experiencing, our new energy, all of that stuff is completely compliant. And when you post your testimony, if it's not compliant, I will help you fix it, and then we'll get it in there for everyone to use. So today we have 5 or 6 testimonies in there. By the end of the week, we'll have, 20, 30, 40, 50. And, a month from now, this is going to be like, oh, we have 500 testimonies. Who cares? I mean, it's not anything to worry about. It's just, you're welcome. It's just a change that we have to deal with. And so we're dealing with it rather well, I think. So don't stress. Don't worry too much about business cards. Don't worry about what the product itself says. Plexus will deal with all of that. All we can really do is just be the most compliant we can. I'm not going to go buy new business cards today. I'm going to be honest. I will wait until this all works out, but I'm certainly not going to post things on Facebook I know are not compliant. So there's kind of a point where Facebook is very public, especially those of us who post publicly. It's very public. It's out there for everyone to see. And so that has to be really, really tight on compliance. I do remember somebody asking at some point scrolling through, what about things that we send privately to someone? I mean, it's a little bit at your own risk, because that person could turn you in and say, oh, Sally sent me this non-compliant stuff. I don't know why people would do that. I mean, hopefully we're all just dealing with good people. So I would say you're at, it's up to your discretion a little more what you do privately with someone, like a personal conversation you have with someone face to face would certainly sound different than what we post on Facebook, more than likely. But I'm not going to say to you, hey, yeah, hoard all this non-compliant stuff and just send it to people through private message. You see the difference? Like, there's a balance. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and they really are putting a lot of money into the studies to back us up. Absolutely. This is probably the first of many studies that will be done. I know that, Plexus wants us all to succeed. They want us to be, fast growing and whatever. And so they're going to do everything they can to keep us up and able to share and say as much as we can. So that's kind of the end of that. Are there any last minute questions? I do end with great news. If you go to your back office and you go to account services. What's it called? Account services up in the top right-hand corner, and then go to account inquiry. Commissions are up. So yay! If you also go to the commissions report, I think that they were supposed to be up in the next, like in the last 20 minutes or something. So commissions should be up in both places now. So that's a great way to end your night, finding out how much you're going to get paid this month, and we get paid on the 15th. So I hope that helps.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, you guys, don't freak out about this because it's really not a big deal. And like Melissa said, in a month, 2 months from now, it's not going to be any big deal. We're going to have a ton of testimonies. It's growing pains from a company that has products that work incredibly well. So you all should be really excited about that. This company is getting noticed by the FDA because the products work so well and because people have made these claims. So we can't make the claims, but we can still use our own testimonies. So people want to see how it's working for you. So don't get all caught up in you can't use, somebody's before and after picture. Post a picture of you with the Slim and say, oh my God, I can't believe I have all this incredible energy. Oh my God, I can't believe I got up today and worked out for an hour. My feet don't hurt anymore. Whatever. People want to see how it's working for you. And if you show, posts with pictures of yourself and what it's doing from you, you can do a freedom post. Freedom from sleepless nights, freedom from my hips hurting, freedom from my feet hurting, freedom from afternoon crashes, freedom from feeling emotionally drained, whatever. People want to see how it's working for you. So don't get all bogged down in this. We can't post before and afters, whatever. Eventually, hopefully that's going to come back to us, but we have to work with what we have right now. And truthfully, I would rather see how the product is working for my friend than a ton of other people. So just kind of work with that and start doing some fun selfies and some fun things about how it's working for you. And trust me, we will get through this and we will come out better in the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like Melissa said, people want to hear, they don't necessarily know what plantar fasciitis is, but they can relate to, oh my God, when I get out of bed in the morning, I can hardly walk to the bathroom. Now you can say, when I get up in the morning, my feet don't kill me, my heels don't kill me when I walk to the bathroom. People don't necessarily know what restless leg syndrome is, but they can relate to constantly have to stretch their legs in bed and they can't sleep because their legs are twitchy and whatever. So, just kind of go with it and really just describe the symptoms that you had, but just don't mention any disease states. It'll be awesome. I promise you guys. Don't get all freaked out about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be better, honestly. I think the descriptions really do bring you more people who really can resonate with what you're saying. So I would not stress about it. And the weight loss stuff's going to come back. It's just a temporary hold until we have that scientific data. And then when we are backed with scientific data, that's going to be huge. I mean, that's game changing when we can have that backing of there were these third-party tests and it validated and proved that our products help with weight loss. Then we have a lot more freedom with that, and then they'll start just validating other things. So it's good because you're right. If the FDA never worried about us, that would mean we were just a tiny little fish in a really big pond, and we're becoming a big fish in the pond. And so that's huge. I mean, that's financial residual income for all of us for many, many decades to come. So yay. And many, many thousands of lives changed. So, all right, y'all, I've kept you long enough. Have a good night. Message us with questions and join those 2 Facebook groups and we'll be good to go. All right. Bye.
Bye.